Hi, I'm Max Gray with 20 Woodwork. We recently came across some rustic oak flooring. It's got a lot of knots and cracks in it. And we decided we're going to try something new in the shop and build an end table with that. So what we've done is taken some pieces and glued it to a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. And we made this round tabletop. The next step is we're going to use Upstart Epoxy's tabletop, high gloss finish, and their deep pour to fill in all the voids and cracks and make a nice full epoxy edge on this. And we're also going to add a little bit of color with their Color Creator Chameleon gift pack and their Greenland gift pack, specifically this nice green and this chameleon mica powder. So stick around and see how we do it. Hope you enjoy the video.
We start by mixing up 4 ounces of the tabletop epoxy, and here we brush it into all the knot holes and across the entire surface and edges to minimize bubbles. Next, we had to build a frame where the tabletop sat inside so we can do our deep pour. We cut these rings on the CNC, and then we covered everything in Tyvek tape and carefully put silicone around the edges and seams. We then mixed up our Upstart Epoxy deep pour in a ratio of 2:1, 2 parts resin to 1 part hardener, about 70 ounces total for this. We then used our forest green metallic mica powder and our chameleon powder, added the color, mixed it thoroughly, and now we're ready to pour. We started by filling all the knots and then filled around the edge and made sure we had enough to cover the whole board, and then used a little bit of heat to knock down any bubbles that appeared. You can see here we added a board wrapped in Tyvek with a weight because we actually saw the board starting to float a bit even though we'd put some hot glue on it. After a couple days we removed it from the form and took it over to the CNC machine where we flattened the top, and once that was flattened, took it to the router and rounded over the edges with a 1/4 inch roundover. Then we went through our progression of sanding. 120, 220, 400, doing the edges by hand, and we give it a good wipe down with denatured alcohol. And now we're ready for another seal coat. Because we surface this in exposed bare wood, we want to seal all that again with a few ounces of our tabletop epoxy. We let that cure overnight, and now we're ready to do our flood coat, the gloss coat on top, making sure that we get an even spread across the top and down over the edges. And we watch it for a few minutes for a little bit of heat, making sure we knock down any bubbles. Then we use our orbital sander to knock off the drips that collected on the bottom edge, and it's ready to install the legs. And here you go, table's ready for its new home. As you can see, it looks great as an end table next to these couches, and we even have a big fan here that likes the new table. Thanks for watching.